she goes, then she stands up for everything she chose. Taking the kids, driving away, turning around the line, she let him siphon away. I've been with you for all these years. Tell me what I've got to show for all my tears. The times he hurt me, treated me wrong. Something had to give to stop this thing going on. Sick of his lies. She suffered him for far too many years of her life. Could feel him more, scared at his head. Doesn't know how over time he drove her away.
Something in the water, and there must be something about your daughter. She said, I love ain't nothing but a monster. My love ain't nothing but a monster with two heads.
Welcome to the 2021 CFL Awards. Please welcome your host, Kate Bearness.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special evening in a wonderful city with very important history. And tonight we want to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather here today is situated upon traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wyandot, Haudenosaunee, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nations. The territory is mutually covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which is an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy, the Ojibwe, and the other allied nations to peacefully share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, this is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in this community and on their territory. Now, I am deeply grateful to say welcome to the 2021 CFL Awards. My name is Kate Bearness, as mentioned from the Voice of God. I am absolutely thrilled to be your host this evening, but if I'm honest with all of you in this room tonight, I don't think I was the first choice to be in this position. We had a lot of fun at the CFL on TSN, and no surprise, we all wanted to host the awards, but it can just be one of us, so we thought we'd leave it up to the Canadian football fans to choose who they love the most.
It's time for TSN to find someone other than Matt Dunnigan to do its CFL broadcast. He is terrible, incoherent, and often unintelligible. Wait. There's more. There's a reply here. Somebody's agreeing with him. Yep, he comes across pompous. You damn straight I do.
David Sanchez is painful to watch. In 2019, I watched almost every CFL. In 2021, I watched maybe one a week. The broadcasts are so tough to watch, they are probably better on mute.
Who's that Milt Stegall guy? Just some rando? Is it? This is all we have on me? That's pretty simple.
Actually, there's
Oh, wow. All right. I don't feel so good now. Thanks a lot.
Not sure what's happening with the CFL studio gang on TSN, but the video highlights don't match what the talking heads are bantering about. And is there any reason why Jim Barker is dressed like he is lost on his way to a funeral parlor? What is that?
Hashtag TSN, hashtag CFL. That Kate Bearness has to go. Drives me insane with her over-the-top actions. Who does she think she is? Matt Dunnigan? Is that a shot at both of us?
I think it is, Kate. I think it is. Boom.
All right, whatever. I'll host the awards. All right, so Canada loves us. What can we say, honestly? And by the way, I can see the panel right here. Coach, you look so dapper tonight. Like, you do not look like you're going to a funeral after this. I'm not trying to help you here, but if there are any single ladies in the room, this man is a gem. So I appreciate you guys all being so cool with that. Looking out at all of you, the players, the coaches we honor tonight, and the fans that we love so much, and knowing that the 108th Grey Cup will be played in front of a full house at Tim Hortons Field in just a few days, we are reminded of what the great Milt Stegall once said. He paid me to say that. We back, baby. And what a year this was. Teams had to learn protocols on top of playbooks. Receivers and backs had to have rapid tests as well as clock fast times. Unless you're the Argos who don't understand times. Or timeouts for that matter. Yeah, no, and I'm so sorry. I didn't know Ryan Dinwiddie was in the house tonight. So this is going to be the most Canadian awards show ever. I'm just going to keep apologizing after every joke. All kidding aside, though, if we had an award tonight for the Comeback Player of the Year, we would have to give it to every player in this great league. And I know you guys are all here, so thank you. And for me, this was a year where I went from isolating at home, doing sports centers literally from my den, to being trapped in a room with 4 men. Eat your hearts out, ladies. This is my life. Jim Barker, Matt Dunnigan, David Sanchez, and the aforementioned Milt Stegall as well. And you know what the question I get all the time? Kate, what is it like to be a woman on a panel? And I go, you know what? These guys are so awesome. It's like I have 4 older brothers. Just really, 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 really old brothers. So, sorry. I got to work with these guys for 2 more days. Lord help me. Before we get to the awards, a shout out to all the Hamiltonians here tonight. I think you're all in that section. You guys have been incredible, and I'm not just saying that because I haven't paid for a drink all week. I just really, really appreciate the hospitality. You have been incredible hosts so far, and I know you will be on Sunday. This is a perfect place for the Grey Cup. It knows togetherness, it values toughness, and it knows all about comebacks. Ladies and gentlemen, our first presenter tonight is the man at the helm of this league's comeback, the 14th commissioner of the CFL, Mr. Randy Ambrosie.
Well, thanks, Kate, for your work on TSN and for being our MC tonight. It's great to be with all of you. It's great to be back at the Grey Cup and Batnick and Hamilton. With the Grey Cup game on Sunday, we will, for the 108th time, celebrate our country, our game, and the bond between them. And when our teams take the field and our fans take their seats, we will also show the world that the CFL is back. And at long last, we're finally back to simply being together. Tonight we're going to celebrate not just one, but 2 incredible groups of people who have made that moment and this season possible. The first, the stars of the CFL, the great players and coaches who made our comeback season in 2021 one to remember. The second, the frontline workers who have worked so hard, so well, and so many hours, and with such great courage and sacrifice. And we did so while most of us sat safely at home. Tonight in our audience, we have a number of frontline workers here at the invitation of the Tiger Cats and the CFL. They work here in the Hamilton area, but this evening they represent all of their colleagues across the country. Instead of asking these special guests to stand, because let's face it, they have earned every right to be tired, I'm going to ask everyone else here to stand instead, and join me please as we give them a standing ovation. Thank you. You'll get to meet some of these heroes this evening as we've asked several of them to be co-presenters so we can shine the spotlight on as many of them as possible. Our first award tonight is the Commissioner's Award, which goes to someone who has made a significant contribution to Canadian football. Well, football is the ultimate team game, and if we've learned anything during this pandemic, it's that we are all in this together. So I've chosen to express our gratitude to those who have helped us get back to the things we love, including the great game of football, by honoring one of Hamilton's finest nurses. Sarah is an employee health registered nurse with Hamilton Health Sciences. During the pandemic, she played an integral role in COVID-19 infection prevention and control, contact tracing, and outbreak management for staff, physicians, and learners at Hamilton Health Sciences. And that sounds a little clinical, no pun intended, but what it means in very human terms is that she put herself at risk in order to serve others. Sarah was recognized this year by Hamilton Health Sciences with the prestigious Nightingale Nursing Excellence Award. And when we recognize her this evening with the Commissioner's Award, we pay tribute to her as a representative of all equally devoted, courageous, and caring nurses on the front lines of healthcare right across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce you to Sarah May.
Thank you. I am overwhelmed with gratitude to accept this Canadian Football League Commissioner's Award on behalf of all nurses. I am honoured that the Canadian Football League has chosen to recognize the nursing profession in this way. When I think about what being a nurse means, these words come to mind: compassionate, empathy, selflessness, passionate, and professional. It is these traits of being a nurse, along with sacrifice, tears, pride, opportunity, and the support of our colleagues, families, and friends, which allowed us nurses to step up and answer the call on the front lines during this pandemic. I would like to thank Commissioner Randy Ambrosie and the Canadian Football League for recognizing us nurses and our contribution to the pandemic. I hope that this recognition serves as an inspiration to all nurses and to others. Remember that our work does make a difference. I am humbled, appreciative, and could not be more proud to be a nurse than I am today. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Sarah. It is also my honor this evening to present the Hugh Campbell Distinguished Leadership Award. Our governors introduced this award to honor those who have demonstrated great leadership and made some significant contributions to the CFL itself. This year, leadership was on display right across our league. We saw it in our governors who chose to get back onto the field in what were still very uncertain times, in our Players Association who worked with us, in our coaches who cooperated with us at the same time that they competed, and we really saw it in our incredible players. They showed off their skills and style, but also their determination, dedication, and perhaps most of all, discipline. Because we would not have completed our season if our teams hadn't followed so faithfully our COVID protocols, even when they were inconvenient or felt almost impossible. It really took our whole league to make this season happen. Tonight, I've chosen to honor with this award two men who have led the way for the rest of us. Our chief medical officers, who are two of the very best in the world. We turn to them every time, again and again, seeking their guidance on what we could do and what we should not do. And they managed to get it right every time, and that allowed us to get the season right. And once again, while these doctors like Sarah deserve recognition on their very own, we honor them as representatives of doctors and other healthcare workers across Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the winners of this year's Hugh Campbell Distinguished Leadership Award. From British Columbia, Dr. Bob McCormick, and from Alberta, Dr. Darren Nadeau.
You know, I have lots of kids, and one of them said to me the other day, they said, "Dad, are you like the COVID police? Like, are you still working, seeing patients anymore?" And we feel like that sometimes, but seriously, thank you to the CFL and Commissioner Ambrosie for this honor. And thank you for recognizing the medical teams. The CFL has played an important part of my life. I grew up in Saskatchewan and spent a lot of time at Taylor Field. And for the last, we're in Hamilton, I forgot that. And for the last 18 years, I've worked with the Edmonton Eskimos and Elks organization. And, you know, when I started in Edmonton, I met Mr. Hugh Campbell. And essentially, he shaped Edmonton to a flagship organization on and off the field. Simply, leadership equals Hugh Campbell. I think we should give a hand for Hugh. In the spring of 2020, the CFL assembled a medical committee, and this medical committee was committed to bringing football back in a safe way. Our family sat back, watched us, spend many hours on Zoom calls, trying to navigate the most recent research. We worked with health authorities and other leagues like the NFL, Australian Rules Football, and World Rugby, to try to get consistent protocols. Instrumental in this committee was Greg Dick, Wade Miller, Darren Hackwood, Eric Noivu, Alain Couture, Claire Toffelmeyer, Kevin McDonald, Dr. Vincent Lacroix, and Dr. Bob McCormick. So thank you to all of you. Across our league, our athletic therapists, team physicians, equipment managers made sure we had the safest environment to play in and work in. Together with the CFLPA and Brian Ramsey, our league ensured CFL football was able to return. Our players have shown a commitment to strict protocols, included isolation, masking, testing, vaccinations, annoying reminders from all of the medical staff, and memos reminding them. Due to the players, we boast a 95% fully vaccinated rate and a negative test rate of 99.92%. So players, thank you for being patient, persevering, and performing under COVID conditions. And ultimately, we get to see the Grey Cup hoisted again on Sunday. So good luck to Hamilton and Winnipeg. I'm going to let Bob say some words.
I just wanted to add my thanks to the League for this unexpected honor. We're appreciative and humbled. Like Dr. Nadeau, the CFL has been part of my life for many years, from my days as a schoolboy when I was watching Russ Jackson from the end zone seats for the Ottawa Rough Riders, through to my first year as a team physician for the BC Lions, the same year that Doug Flutie entered the league and joined that team. It's a great community. There's been fantastic experiences. And it's really been an amazing, 3 decades for me with the CFL. However, as mentioned, the last 21 months have been a unique challenge. We've had to learn on the fly as evidence accumulated and respond rapidly. As so many of us learned, the only constant was change. Now, while our medical committee did a lot of work, we couldn't have brought it across the finish line without the help of our colleagues at each of the provincial and regional health authorities, as well as the Public Health Agency of Canada, so we thank them as well. Also, we must not forget the hard work, research, and countless hours put in by those frontline workers and other physicians. These individuals helped us learn and collaborated to develop protocols to keep us all safe. They worked overtime over and over. Many of them have gotten sick from COVID infections. They've all worked to keep us safe and to bring us back to some sense of normalcy. So we're appreciative of them. Finally, we'd like to thank the City of Hamilton and remind everybody to be safe during the Grey Cup and to follow the directions of public health during the holiday season. So on behalf of both of us, thanks again for this award. It's a huge and unexpected honor.
Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you once again to Commissioner Ambrosi. Our next award tonight is for the most outstanding lineman, and to present it, we have one of the finest players to play up front. He was a 5-time CFL All-Star, and he won 2 Grey Cups. His co-presenter is the Executive Director of the Interval House here in Hamilton, which has continued to provide much-needed supports to women throughout the pandemic. Dan Frohney's a little bit shy, so please go easy on him. Please welcome Dan and Nancy Smith. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
It's football's great irony. Everyone says the game is decided in the trenches. And yet, the old lines seldom get to stand in the spotlight. Tonight, we shine our light on the 2 of the best. Let's meet the 2 nominees for the most outstanding offensive lineman.
Stanley Bryant, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Another year, another most outstanding offensive lineman nomination for Winnipeg's Stanley Bryant. The tackle anchored the Bombers' imposing O-line, which allowed just 16 sacks in 14 games, by far the fewest in the league. Bryant's fingerprints are all over Zach Collaros' MOP caliber season and Winnipeg's division best rushing attack. The 11-year pro earned his 6th career All-Star nod. Brandon Revenberg, Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Essex, Ontario product is getting his due. Since being drafted 3rd overall out of Grand Valley State in 2016, Hamilton's Brandon Revenberg has cemented himself as one of the CFL's best interior linemen. An all-star 3 years running, Revenberg turned in a solid 2021 campaign and was a key fixture in the Tabbies' running and passing game.
And the most outstanding offensive lineman is Stanley Bryant, Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. You know, I'm just grateful and honored to receive the award. You know, it's been a crazy year coming off COVID. You know, being able to play football again was a blessing all around. I want to thank my teammates. You know, got Willie over there, Biggie, our offensive line brothers with their turtlenecks on. I love those guys to death. We got a true brotherhood in the locker room. Got to thank the organization, you know, Coach O'Shea, Kyle, Wade, Darren, Al Couture, Matt G, Fadi, just so many people in the organization that I love, I trust, and I believe in. Got to thank my family. Got my nephew here. He's only 14. So things looking a little promising. My sister, my mother, all my family back home in Goldsboro, my son Q. I love them all, and I'm just happy to be here. This is one of those things that I never thought would happen. You know, coming out of college, I went to Denver, got cut, sat out a few months, didn't know anything about the CFL. My agent told me about it, so I was shocked. Just one of those things I never heard of. I came up here, you know, 2010, just sat around on PR, got a chance to play, and then 2011, I got another chance to play, and that was all she wrote. So thank you for those teams that took a chance on me. Thank you, CFL. I love you guys. I love the Winnipeg fans. I'll see you guys Sunday.
Great. Now we got GM scouting the 14-year-old nephew. The Grey Cup is back in Hamilton for the first time since 1986, and that year featured a very classic game. I remember it well myself. I was 2 years old. But for many Hamilton fans, the best year ever was 1972 when the Cats captured the Cup right here on home soil. They were led that day by a rookie phenom named Chuck Ely, and he is here tonight to present the award for the most outstanding rookie. Now with Chuck tonight is Megan Goodall, the supervisor of the Good Shepherd Men's Center. At Good Shepherd, Megan continues to try to improve the lives of others to the best of her ability, all while facing the challenges of a rising homeless population and limited resources. Please welcome Megan and Chuck.
Thank you, Kate. I will always be grateful to the CFL for the opportunity it gave me and to Canada for what it has meant to me and my family. Tonight we honor two rookies just beginning their journey in the CFL. Let's meet them.
Jordan Williams, BC Lions. The 2020 first overall pick had to wait to make his CFL debut, but he did not disappoint when he did, finishing second in the league in defensive tackles. His 92 tackles shattered the previous record by a national rookie, set by Mike O'Shea in an 18-game regular season. Williams' CFL debut was one to remember, as he recorded 6 tackles and a sack against the Riders in Week 1. Peter Nicastro, Toronto Argonauts. Coming out of the University of Calgary, 23-year-old Nicastro was one of the youngest players in the league this season. Facing pass rushers who've been at it since he was in grade school, the Argos' 7th overall selection in the 2021 draft took it all in stride, earning an East Division All-Star nod. Nicastro even took over at center midway through the season, a remarkable feat for a first-year player.
This is the only second time both rookie nominees are Canadian. So congratulations. Yes, yes. So congratulations to them, as well as the amateur coaches here who have helped them reach this level. My most outstanding teammate here will do the honors. Megan Goodall.
And the most outstanding rookie is Jordan Williams.
Oh, man. What an honor to have this award. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the man upstairs, my mother, my brother, my family, my team. Without them, none of this would be possible, their love and support. I'm a man that always said hard work and dedication will always get you what you want and where you want in life. So I'll say this to say never forgive it, never give up, always believe in yourself. And like I've always said, you gotta speak it, you gotta believe it, and then you shall receive it. And I say those affirmations before practices, before games. I say, speak it, believe, receive it. Speak it, believe, receive it. And I received this tonight. Appreciate y'all.
That was awesome. So Chuck Ely wasn't the first rookie QB to lead Hamilton to a Grey Cup. Back in 1943, the Hamilton Flying Wildcats defeated the Winnipeg RCAF Bombers, led by a 20-year-old kid named Mel Lawson. It was the middle of the Second World War, and having teams from the military compete for the cup was deemed good for morale at the time. Canadian football has had a long and proud association with the Canadian military and the Canadian veterans as well. And to mark that bond, the CFL introduced the Jake Goddard Veterans Affairs Award. It is named for the former CFL commissioner, another proud Hamiltonian who was also a member of that 1943 championship squad. Here to present the award to this year's recipient, representing the Minister of Veteran Affairs Canada, Member of Parliament for the Hamilton Mountain, Lisa Hepfner, and the late Mr. Goddard's daughter, Jackie. Nice to meet you. Hello.
The Jake Goddard Veterans Affairs Award is presented to a Canadian CFL player who best demonstrates the attributes of Canada's veterans: strength, perseverance, courage, comradeship, and contribution to Canadian communities.
Thank you, Lisa. Good evening, everyone. In 1984, my late father, Jake Goddard, would finally retire after a 45-year career in Canadian professional football. During that time, thank you. During that time, amongst his more notable achievements, was being the CFL's longest-serving commissioner, 18 years, a proud owner of a successful football franchise, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and of course, a veteran lineman with Indigenous roots and 3 well-earned Grey Cup rings. In his retirement years, Dad occasionally would like to reflect on some of the more memorable moments of his life in the league. Those thrilling victories, those wins that should have been, and of course, those unforgettable all-Canadian outdoor classics like the Mud Bowl, the Ice Bowl, and the infamous Fog Bowl, once described as the greatest game no one saw. But it was always clear to us that no game was more meaningful to Dad than the one played November the 29th, 1942, when he and his teammates, all of whom were Royal Canadian Air Force pilots, some just barely out of their teens, would thrill and inspire the nation by winning the first ever non-civilian Grey Cup game. But for Dad, the excitement of this victory would be short-lived. Canada was now at war. Demand for air power was growing, as were the risks. In the coming months, Dad would learn 7 of his teammates, that's about a third of his team, had lost their young and promising lives in the skies over war-torn Europe. For the rest of his life, especially at this time of year, Dad would put time aside to deeply reflect on his days in the service, and in particular on his fallen teammates, whom he considered to be amongst our nation's truest heroes. After Dad's passing in 2007, my family and I were thrilled to learn Veterans Affairs Canada had partnered with the CFL to create an award in Dad's name, one that would recognize an exceptional CFL player who demonstrates, as Lisa has said, the attributes that have always defined Canada's servicemen and servicewomen. If I may repeat them: service, perseverance, strength, courage, camaraderie, and a contribution to their communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this year's winner of the Jake Goddard Veterans Award, from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Chris Van Ziel.
Oh, thank you all so incredibly much for this honor. To be mentioned in the same breath as any of these nominees that do so much in their respective communities is very humbling. I'd like to start by thanking my parents. At a young age, my parents showed me the value of contributing to our community through a variety of both social and church-driven programs. It is a big reason why I've made service in the community such a priority in my career. Thank you to all the veteran players that took their time out of their busy days to give me pointers and work with me. I hope you see a little bit of your contribution every time I play. I try and repay your kindness by paying it forward every time I help one of my young teammates. Your legacy will live on. I'd like to thank the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and specifically Gogo, and our incredible community relations team. You guys are in a league of your own, and we appreciate everything you do to keep us involved. This is one of the toughest years of my professional career. To suffer a thumb injury followed by a hamstring injury tested me mentally and physically. Claire, Maui, Curtis, Stephen, Adam, and Lena got me back on the field and continue to help me play week after week. Thank you all so much. Finally, to my wife, Kimberly, thank you for all you do for our family. It is never easy being away from you three, but knowing they are under your watch gives me peace of mind to do appearances, get treatment, and prepare for games. You are my rock. I love you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Chris. The commissioner is sitting down here, and he is just beaming at this point in the award ceremony because offensive linemen keep winning all of these awards. A little known fact about Randy's career, he wasn't just an offensive lineman, he also had one career kick return for a single yard. Is that not true? No, that's true. You can't deny it. It's in my notes. Of course it is. The amazing thing, it took 5 seconds off the clock. Like, think about that. It doesn't happen. Is it true when you're commissioner you can just make up your own stats? So if I become commish, I was a DB and I had 30 picks? You know why I picked that, Ches? Because you had 28, right? Sorry. Yeah, there it is. If I don't get fired, I'm going to go for commissioner. Don't worry, I'll give you a few years. Don't worry about it. He denies it. At the opposite end of this spectrum now is one of Randy's teammates from his Edmonton days, a guy who ran back 26 punts for touchdowns, which is remarkable. He racked up more than 25,000 all-purpose yards. Defenders couldn't catch him, but tonight his co-presenter has. Stephanie Haber is a grade 6 teacher at W.H. Ballard Elementary School here in town. Some of them went to, okay, you guys went to that public school, come on. One of the thousands of educators who had to find new and innovative ways to ensure kids could keep learning in the face of COVID-19. Please welcome Stephanie and the one and only Henry Gizmo Williams. Go ahead.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Matt. Whew, boy, this is a great honor here tonight. I just got to let you get, before I get into the speech and stuff and I read off this prompt, I want these young guys to know this award just come out just when I retired. Would you guys believe it? You can go on YouTube and you can look at this here. I won this award 10 times. 10, not 8. I won it 10 times. Can you believe that? 10 times. And now I want Randy, the commissioner, Randy, I want you to know what you owe me. Let me get this up. At the time, the guy was getting $3,000. I won 10 times, so that's $30,000 you owe me. The guys was getting rings. You owe me 10 rings. And also, I heard they was getting trips, so I'll take what we'll do with the $30,000 would make that 15, and the trips I'll take 6, and for the flying and stuff, you know, you have to pay for that. But I just really, you know, ain't that something? You win. I would think for so many years in the league, they would have had something for me up here tonight, but every time they always want me to give out this award. I want to, Mike, I want to say, Mike Clement, you know what I'm talking about, because Mike, you won it 5 times. I beat you 10 times. But I really want, and you know what, all bull job aside, I want to thank the frontline workers for what they did for us. And without this, we wouldn't be here tonight. This award is very special. And now I want you guys to look at the nominee for the best outstanding special team player.
Devontae Dedmon, Ottawa Redblacks. Ottawa's Devontae Dedmon was head and shoulders above his peers when it came to returns in 2021. The 26-year-old coupled his ankle-breaking agility with a lethal first step to lead the league in kickoff and punt return yards. Dedmon had nearly twice as many kickoff return yards as any other player this season, despite missing 3 games. Dedmon found the end zone 3 times, including a 100-yard kickoff return in Week 14. Rene Paredes, Calgary Stampeders. The steady kicker out of Concordia University led the league by converting 91.7% of his field goals, the highest in his 10-year CFL career. The 36-year-old vet also showed how clutch he can be with the game on the line, nailing late game-winning field goals on 3 occasions in 2021. His eye-popping 52-yard make against Montreal in Week 3 equaled the longest boot of his career.
Well, Gizmo, I'm sorry it's not you again this year. The most outstanding special teams player is Devontae Dedmon.
This is my first time meeting Gizmo, and I'm like starstruck. I'm shaking. For real. First and foremost, I want to thank the man upstairs. Without him, none of this would be possible. I would like to thank my family back home, my mother Gina, my father Tyrone, and my little brother Karan. You guys sacrificed so much for me growing up, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. I'm very grateful for that. I would like to thank the Red Blacks and the OSEG Foundation, Marcel, JM, Jeremy, PY. You guys brought in a guy from Williamsburg and gave me an opportunity, and I'm forever grateful for that as well. The coaching staff, my teammates, thank you guys for believing in me, trusting me. We talk a lot about trust in this locker room, and it shows with the success on the field. Yeah, go ahead, laugh it up. Coach Dice, I take huge pride in being a part of your special teams unit. The leadership you bring to each meeting and practice is something that I'm appreciative every day. Lastly, I want to thank my Williamsburg family. They pushed me from the start, whether that was the Williamsburg Hornets, the Warhill Lions, or the College of William & Mary. Shout out Pinball one time. Coach October, I want to thank you for showing me and breaking down the return game and help me understand the importance of patience in the game. I love you, Coach. I think I've taken up enough time. Happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy your time.
Good job, brother.
Our next award this evening will be presented by Jody Hagan. She is a registered psychiatric nurse at St. Peter's Hospital. Jody told us that the pandemic has been an emotional whirlwind for her and her colleagues. Well, they weathered the storm and helped others do the exact same. Jody's care and compassion earned her a Nursing Excellence Award. She is joined tonight by a CFL legend. His mom named him Les, but in this case, Les is so much more. More Grey Cups, 3 to be exact, more All-Star selections, 6, and more interceptions than anyone else, an incredible 87 picks. Please welcome, presenting the Most Outstanding Defensive Player Award, Les Brown and Jody Hagan. I didn't write that, but it was great. Hi, Jody, how are you?
Most Outstanding Defensive Player. You know, I was runner-up for this award twice. I attempted to just grab it and run out there and just make another interception. But that wouldn't be the right, because these two gentlemen that are coming up for this award, they deserve the accolades and everything. So we're just going to let the word speak for them.
Adam Bighill, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Mr. Reliable for the Blue Bombers. Adam Bighill is searching for his third career Most Outstanding Defensive Player award. The linebacker turned in another solid season in blue and gold, anchoring one of the stingiest defenses the league has seen in years. His 70 tackles were the most on the Bombers, and he packed the stat sheet with 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a fumble return TD. Simone Lawrence, Hamilton Tiger Cats. The 32-year-old American was one of the main reasons the Tabbies gave up the fewest rushing yards in the CFL. Hamilton dealt with a number of injuries on offense this season, making Lawrence's hard-nosed defensive play all the more important. He led the Ticats in tackles and had 2 defensive touchdowns, and is eyeing his first career Most Outstanding Defensive Player award.
And the CFL's Most Outstanding Defensive Player for 2021 is Adam Bighill.
Wow. To be standing here for the 3rd time is beyond a dream come true. I never set the goal of being up here, but just the goal of improving every day while giving everything I have to my teammates. And this year, just to be nominated for my team is such an incredible honor, as I think there are several others that could have easily been nominated as well. So it's no surprise why I have to start my thank yous with my teammates, my defense, the dark side. This award isn't possible without all of you. This is a we award and not a me award. I can't express how much all of you mean to me, and how much all your effort, focus, and constant pursuit of perfection mean to me. And to BA, Brandon Alexander, aka Mob Steak. Thanks for going step for step with me. Our 5:30 a.m. film work and our workouts, man, I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you to our coaching staff that always challenges us in search of finding the best in all of us. And James Stanley, you had our linebacker group prepared from day one. Your attention to detail and preparation has been second to none. Thank you for your incredible work. Thank you to our medical staff, equipment staff. I appreciate all of you guys keeping us at our very, very best. And thanks to my amazing, beautiful wife, Christina, who really is the MVP. I appreciate your support and understanding as you accept the sacrifices I need to make to be the best I can be, and you never question it once. So thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you to my agent, Dan Vertlieb. I'm thankful for the relationship we have built, and that you're really like family to me. Thanks for always having my back. And lastly, thank you to all the amazing fans of the CFL, especially everyone wearing blue and gold. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday season. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Adam Bighill. The people we honor with the CFL Awards tonight will be the first to tell you they stand on the shoulders of the giants who come before them. Bob Young literally told me that same line last night. Let's take a few moments to remember and honor some of the wonderful people that we have lost since we last gathered like this in 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anthony Calvillo.
Thank you. I'm Anthony Calvillo. Bob Wettenhall had stars and stripes on his passport, but the fleur-de-lis was in his soul, and he had a joie de vivre in his heart. He embraced Quebec, loved Montreal, and as our owner, he elevated the Alouettes to a status as a model franchise. On and off the field, people would talk about Calvillo, or Cahoon, or Cox. But on the team, we all knew who our real MVP was, and it was Bob Wettenhall.
The moment that our city's football team became part of the Calgary Sports Group, Ken King was a staunch advocate for not only the Stampeder franchise, but for all Canadian football. At the league level, Ken brought his wealth of experience in the sports and business worlds and became an invaluable member of the CFL Board of Governors. Under his guidance, CSEC teams maintained a high level of excellence in all aspects, including performance on the field or on the ice, customer service, and making a positive impact on the community. He was a larger-than-life personality, equally at home in negotiations in the boardroom or having friendly chats with fans in the stands. As important as my business relationship with Ken was, I treasured his friendship even more. Although his role in overseeing CSEC and all of its teams was demanding, he always found the time to drive to McMahon Stadium to provide guidance and support, not only to myself, but the entire organization. Other times, he would visit just to shoot the breeze, usually after a disappointing loss. It's been more than a year since Ken's passing, and we feel his loss every day. But his contributions to the Calgary sports scene, the Stampeders in the Canadian Football League, will live on for many years. Thanks, pal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rick Lalachelle.
Good evening. It's fitting that during tonight's CFL Awards, we honor and remember David Braley, here in his hometown of Hamilton. David truly loved the Canadian Football League. In his over 30 years in the CFL, he owned 3 teams, was the chairman of the board, and acting commissioner. No one else has ever matched that involvement. While he owned the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Toronto Argonauts for a few years in each instance, it was his ownership in the BC Lions Football Club for the last 23 years that made him especially proud. Because of his health, he was not able to travel to BC for the last number of years, but I can assure you, right until his passing, he was still involved in his beloved Lions. In total, David had spent well over 1,000 hours watching his own teams play and attending CFL meetings. And I would not want to count the number of phone calls, faxes, and even in the last few years, some emails. David was a highly successful business person, a generous philanthropist, a former senator, a sportsman, and an avid Canadian. He is an honored member of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, the BC Sports Hall of Fame, the McMaster Sports Hall of Fame, and the Hamilton Sports Hall of Fame. As we celebrate the 108th Grey Cup, we are truly grateful for his contributions. There's no better way to honor and remember David by saying it is highly likely that the CFL would not exist today without David Braley.
Bonjour, mon nom is Gary Stern. I am the proud owner of the Montreal Alouettes, a team rich in tradition and winning. There were 2 of us when we acquired the team with my partner and, but most important, my father-in-law, Sid Spiegel. Sid passed away recently. He leaves us with a beautiful legacy of family values and decency. He would have been a great ambassador for the Alouettes and the league as a whole. He was instrumental in making the Alouettes happen for us, and for that, for his life and for his friendship, I and the Alouettes will ever be grateful. Merci, Sid. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the caretaker of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Bob Young.
Hey guys, so I have this teleprompter thing. It's very cool, but I don't follow scripts, as Scott Mitchell knows only too well. You all know Ange. Ange had this massively colorful life. He was, in the years I knew him, he had retired from football and wrestling, so I just knew him, as most of you did, as a great storyteller. And at practice or when I would see him at a game, he would take me aside and he would tell me a story. And they were always just fantastic stories, and he had lived every one of them. And I can't repeat a single one of them here. But I do have one story that I will tell you, because as us great storytellers, well, Ange was a great storyteller, I'm just an obnoxious one, we are salesmen at heart. That's why we tell stories. And Ange was a great salesman. And when I first got involved in the Tiger Cats, I was told we had to be careful with Ange because he was a better salesman than anyone working for the Tiger Cats. And he had more sponsorships for Ange Mosca than the Tiger Cats had for the Tiger Cats. And so we were competing with Ange Mosca for our own brand. Of course, how do I put it? When I got involved, I didn't see Ange as a threat, but I didn't know what to do with Ange. I mean, I loved Ange, but it wasn't until Scott Mitchell came to the Ticats. And I go ask Scott, okay, so what do we do with Ange? Scott looks at me like I'm nuts and go, well, of course you embrace Ange. He is the Tiger Cats. And Ange had the best time working with the Tiger Cats thanks to Scott Mitchell understanding that you embrace your stars. You lift them up. They are our game. They are our brand. And so, Scott, thank you for embracing Ange. And we have a little video to honor Ange's memory. Thank you.
Thank you for all those tributes. I saw the name of my friend and TSN colleague Chris Schultz up there, along with a longtime CFL on TSN producer Tony Darchie. And I know so much has been said about the big man, and we could tell a million stories about Chris Schultz and about Darch, but I just want to add that we as a team miss these two like crazy. Rather than a moment of silence, I ask that you join me in celebrating these incredible lives with a round of heartfelt, deeply grateful applause. Thank you. In 2009, the CFL introduced a new honor, the Jane Mobby Tribute Award, named for a wonderful team player who is part of the Stampeders organization for 28 years. It goes to an employee of a CFL club or the league office, someone who works quietly but tirelessly behind the scenes with great dedication but very little fanfare. Here to present it are two folks who know all about hard work. The first is Sonia Sykes. Across the street from Tim Hortons Field, you will see a school that is connected to the CFL by more than geography alone. It is named for the first black quarterback in pro football history, the legendary Bernie Custis of Tiger Cat fame. And so, it is fitting that its principal, Sonia, is dedicated to eliminating the barriers that can impact Indigenous, Black, and radicalized students. And her team has been dedicated to helping all their students overcome the feelings of isolation caused by the pandemic. Now, with Sonia tonight is someone I know I'm excited to meet for the first time. He knows all about barriers and knocking them down. He is a Hamilton celebrity who inspires each and every one of us, whether he's working with the Tiger Cats as their equipment assistant, or just taking over Twitter, or just showing the rest of us how to love life each and every day. Please welcome Sonia Sykes and Dylan Attack.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, guys. Before I announce this year's Jane Marbury Tribute Award, I firstly want to say, I know that there's no cell phones allowed on during the award show, but I think Simone's an exception. Simone, can you start on Instagram this slide, please? All right. This award means a lot to all of us who work hard behind the scenes. Congratulations to all the nominees, and thank you for all you do.
This year's winner is one of the many dedicated HR and finance professionals working across the CFL. Like so many club and league staff, she put in countless hours, the past 2 years sacrificing her time, even part of her salary, to help her club cope with a situation that had no precedent, and it seemed to change on a daily basis. Her colleagues proudly describe her as a CFL lifer because she started with her beloved BC Lions 27 years ago, and as a receptionist, and is today a member of their senior executive team. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this year's Jane Mowbray Award winner, Carol Longmire.
Thank you so much. I thought this was going to be easier getting up here, but now I'm all shaky. But as my 19-year-old daughter would say, Mom, this is sick. So thank you. I would like to give a big thank you to Rick and my other colleagues for nominating me and to the committee for choosing me for this special award. I didn't know Jane personally, but from what I understand, she was an incredible lady, and I'm honored to be here today. I've been so fortunate to work with some incredible icons over the past 27 years. I can't even name them all, but it's just incredible. I'm deeply honored to accept this award, not only for myself, but for all the talented ladies and all the passionate gentlemen that I work with at the BC Lions Football Club and the CFL. I would like to give a special thank you to David Braley, to the late David Braley. He believed in me and encouraged me throughout my journey with the BC Lions, and I learned a lot from him, and I will be forever grateful. Thank you very much.
I'm late because I was taking photos with Dylan backstage. No big deal. Oh, what a celeb. Okay, the Tom Pate Memorial Award honors the memory of a Tiger Cat rookie who died back in 1975 at the age of just 23. It goes to a player known for outstanding sportsmanship and who has made significant contribution to his team, his community, and the CFL Players Association. Here to present the award on behalf of the CFLPA is someone that received this honor back in 2018, former Edmonton special teamer Ryan King, and he is joined tonight by Melissa Sekonowich, I hope I didn't mess that up, who works with the Alzheimer's Society here in Hamilton. Now, during the pandemic, she and her colleagues worked tirelessly to find creative and effective ways to support caregivers best by isolation and burnout. Please welcome to the stage Melissa and Ryan.
Thank you, everybody. Before I start here, I just got to take a quick moment here. Being born and raised in Edmonton, it was always an honor to watch Gizmo Williams, another former special teamer, play. And I was actually pretty honored to see that he owned something more than a spandex shirt tonight. So he looked really good tonight, Giz. So well done. It's an honor to be presenting the Tom Pate Award this evening. I have Melissa from the Alzheimer's Society from Hamilton. This award is meant to represent the incredible work our players do in the community and to show the impact that our players have on the next generation of athletes that will be playing in this league years to come. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Melissa here, and she's going to let you know who this year's Tom Pate Award recipient is.
All right. So please welcome to the stage our hometown hero, Mike Daly.
Thank you, everybody. This is pretty special because Hamilton kind of adopted me when I came here for school at McMaster. So first of all, you know, being in this community for over a decade, thank you very much for this award. Hamilton, really appreciate it, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Second, I want to thank the teammates. They've made my career here fantastic. A lot of the vets that came before me, right, just seeing how they, you know, portray themselves in our community and how they embrace everything that Hamilton is. Guys like Mike Filer before, right, seeing how Chris Van Zyl carries himself. Courtney Stephen before that, Craig Butler, who's still here, and you know, just really can't thank Hamilton enough. And then also thank you to everybody that, you know, gives their time to their communities and kind of growing, whether it's a sport, whether, you know, going to hang out with some kids and make them smile if they're going through a rough time. Whatever that might be, I appreciate everyone that does that, and this award's for all of those people. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike. Our next award honors head coaches, football's ultimate leaders. And when choosing presenters, we decided to feature two gentlemen who have been leaders and legends in their field for decades at this point. In fact, they have almost 100 years of CFL broadcasting between them. 100 years. And they've both announced that they are retiring after this year's Grey Cup. The first is the unmistakable voice of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Here we go, the last play of the game, barring a penalty. Kevin Glenn in the shotgun. Chris Streveler fakes a hitch pass. Kevin Glenn in shotgun from the 42. And he throws it long down the left side for Stiegel. He's got it, and he's gone! All going long for Sims Walker. What a catch at the Argo 30-yard line. You gotta be kidding me. Stiegel wide open, this could be it. 35-30, there's your record-breaking touchdown. Milt Stiegel in a class of his own on the last play of the game. 100-yard touchdown pass. Stiegel caught the ball between two stunned Edmonton defenders around center field. I don't think he could believe it himself, and there was nobody left to beat, and he took it into the end zone, and who could have imagined an ending like that?
Ladies and gentlemen, oh, go on, go on. Please, please. The guy you should stand for is coming up next, but there must be a lot of Winnipeggers here. Yes, I'm Bob Irving, and I thank you so very much. I've been honored to be part of this great league for almost 50 years, and I appreciate this opportunity to say thank you to everyone associated with my journey from CJOB, from the Blue Bombers, of course, and the CFL. It's also an honor to introduce my co-presenter. He's a friend who has done it all, and then some, in Canadian broadcasting all over the world. But I know the Grey Cup has always held a special place in his heart. You wouldn't expect anything else from a guy who went to high school at Westdale, right here in Hamilton. Please welcome one of the all-time greats in our business, Brian Williams.
Thank you. I've done some 40 Grey Cups. The first I ever did was reporting for Chum in 1972 when Chuck Ely led the Ticats over the Saskatchewan Roughriders 13-10, and Ian Sutter kicked the winning field goal. And the second game at Ivor Wynne, of course, was the Blizzard in 1996, Toronto defeating the Edmonton Eskimos. It has been for me an absolute pleasure and a privilege over the years to cover the Canadian Football League. I mentioned the years. I've covered it for some 40 years. I think I've done 40 Grey Cups. What this country... Thank you. What this country has in the CFL is very special and something we should never take for granted. And what makes it so great are people like my friend Bob Irving and the people we honor here this evening. I'm amazed I can read this as I don't have my glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, we're honoring world-class athletes and great, tremendous coaches. Bob.
Well, Brian, let's get to the spotlight back where it belongs, and that's on the nominees for CFL Coach of the Year. In a very unique year, they faced very different challenges.
One had to keep a team on top. The other had to literally turn a football team around. They both did an amazing job. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the nominees for Coach of the Year in the CFL.
Ryan Dinwiddie, Toronto Argonauts. A CFL alumnus who is touted as one of the league's bright young coaches, Ryan Dinwiddie lived up to the billing in 2021. In his first season at the helm of the Argos, Dinwiddie molded a group with plenty of new faces into a genuine contender in the East. Toronto's 6-1 record at BMO Field propelled them to the top of the division, marking the first time the Boatmen finished with a winning record since 2015. Mike O'Shea, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Mike O'Shea had the Blue Bombers offense humming this season, punishing opponents on the ground and through the air, while racking up the most points in the CFL. The defense was one of the most fearsome in recent memory, stifling opposition offenses all year long, with an 11-3 record and all-stars on both sides of the ball. O'Shea was the easy nominee from the West for Coach of the Year.
And the CFL Coach of the Year for 2021, Mike O'Shea of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Perfect. I was waiting for that. It's quite humbling to be standing between two icons like Brian and Bob. Phenomenal, just phenomenal people that, you know, as a Canadian, you grow up listening to and watching their broadcasts, and it's they're just fantastic men. The CFL will miss them dearly, and the Bombers fans especially, Bob, will miss you dearly. Ryan, I'm not sure, I can't see you anyway, but you got my vote. You powered through some very tough situations and did it, making it look just matter-of-factly, so well done. The other CFL head coaches, I really hope that this has just been the toughest year we'll ever have to face. All right, we won't see another one like this. It was many challenges, and the guys did a great job, I thought. Our gratitude definitely has to go to the women and men of the CFL, the CFLPA, various medical consultants and all levels of government that worked together on the plan that allowed us to get back to work. I want to especially thank Wade Miller and Al Couture, who, yeah, they both worked tirelessly with all involved to make sure that plan was going to work out. A deep debt of gratitude to all the players of this great league. You gutted out 2020 that had to be extremely tough. You guys sacrificed the most and continue to sacrifice to make 2021 season a reality. We appreciate all of you. The Bombers players, I'll just keep it simple. We have a room full of selfless leaders that just really get what it takes to create team. They make our job easy as coaches and just damn good fun every bloody day. So I appreciate going to work with you. Thank you to Wade, Kyle, Ted Gavai, and Dan McManus, not only for sticking with me through the lean first few years, but sharing a vision and working towards it. I do appreciate you having my back. I just want to read a quick list, and it's a partial list of coaches that helped shape me. Minor hockey in North Bay, Pecora and Bedard, high school, Hewitt, Cook, Swanson, Eddles, Timber, Jackson, Greco, high school life coach, Richie Lattiser, always had a better plan, not always a good one. University, McNally, Tracy, Clough, the legendary Dick Brown, and the legendary Dennis McPhee. Deeger. From turning pro, Gregory Southern, Matthews, Barker, Etch, Stubes, Clemens, Buono, Milanovic, and Orlando Steinauer. That's all O's for people that can't still get it right. I appreciate you, buddy. Now the Bombers coaches, all right? Simple business, I mentioned this earlier. Hire good people with great passion for coaching, and as I've learned this year, just let them work. All right? Buck Pierce, Richie Hall, Paul Boudreau, Marty Costello, Kevin Burgoyne, James Stanley, Jordan Younger, Pete Costanza, and Daryl Patterson. These are the men that serve our players with distinction. I appreciate you all. On to family. This nomination provided an opportunity to remember the first coach that I truly observed. I didn't spend a lot of time later on in life as a player ever analyzing a coach and deciding whether or not they were a good coach. If they had the name coach in front of their surname, then I just did what they asked. I really felt that was our duty as players, do what the coaches ask you to do. But the very first coach that I observed was in fact my mom. Okay, so she volunteered to coach a game called ringette. Some of you might not be familiar with ringette. It was invented in North Bay. It provided girls an opportunity to play on the ice with sticks in a ring, shooting on goalies, a great team sport, before, at a time also when girls and women weren't accepted into hockey. So that was sort of the precursor to it. Anyway, my mom volunteered to coach ringette. The funny thing is she couldn't skate and she'd never played the game, obviously, and she didn't know much about it. All right. There she was. She was a goalie. You can hear her right there. The one thing I did notice about her, and I'm sure she didn't know I was watching, was she definitely could relate to the people she was coaching. She could communicate, and she understood the need for fairness and fun. Thank you, Mom. My wife, Rocher, son, Michael, daughters, Ailish and Ashling. You packed up everything you had and left everything you knew to follow your dad to the peg. I do appreciate it. As some football wives do, I'm sure I'm not the best coach for this, but I might not be the only one. Rocher, you get all the crap of a bad day, and since no coach celebrates a good practice, you get none of the joy of the daily weeks of practice that I get with these guys. The true joy is when we get to win a football game and you know I'm going to come home happy for a little bit. All right, so I appreciate your support. All right, never ending, and I know it's got to be tough, because as coaches, we generally just don't celebrate a lot. So, lastly, I've said this, the players understand this, winning feels great. Winning with the right people is indescribable. You guys are the right people. I love you all.
No, it doesn't matter. Congratulations, Coach. I'm sorry, Mike O'Shea's mother is here. Where are you? Where? No, she does. No, it's unavoidable now, Mrs. O'Shea. From the bottom of my heart, I know you don't want to be on camera, and I'm so sorry, but women like you and what you did back in the day is the reason that women like me are standing up here. So thank you. Sorry. It's true. It is. I'm sorry that you don't want this attention. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Yes, I want to party with Mike O'Shea's mom. That's all I know. Oh, man, that's awesome. Congratulations to Mike O'Shea, obviously his incredible family here tonight, too. A guy who is as Canadian as they come. So we're going to keep the focus on those who put the C in CFL. To present the Most Outstanding Canadian Player Award, we are thrilled to be joined by two very special people who worked tirelessly during the pandemic to prepare and face it head on. From the Canadian Armed Forces, Warrant Officer Ian Jones, whose platoon of soldiers and medical personnel provided real-time support on a constant rotating schedule within long-term care homes, and Petty Officer First Class Jocelyn Lane. As a Hamilton-born service member, he wanted to ensure not only the safety of men and women in uniform, but the well-being of the entire community. With them tonight, one of the best Canadians to ever play this game, a rider and a Tiger Cat over his sparkling CFL career. The winner of this award back in 2010, he was even so good he had his own cereal. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Fantuz. I had to say the cereal.
Thank you. Thanks, Kate. Isn't she great? Like, amazing. I'm one of several receivers who have won this award. A few guys have some ties to this amazing football tradition right here in the Hamilton area. Names like Tony Gabriel, Mike Moriali, and Rocky DiPietro. But this year, when there were so many amazing defensive performances, our nominees are both talented defenders. So let's take a look.
David Menard, Montreal Alouettes. David Menard put in a career year with the Owls. The Chicoutimi, Quebec product set a career high with 18 tackles, and his 8 sacks were the most of anyone in the East Division. The former Montreal Carabin was a stalwart on an Alouettes line that led the league in sacks this year. The 7-year pro played his 100th career CFL game during the 2021 season. Bo Lacombo, BC Lions. Back for his 3rd stint with the Leos, Lacombo was all over the field on defense, racking up 66 tackles, while also chipping in on special teams. Lacombo equaled his career high with 4 sacks, plus he picked off 3 passes. To top it all off, the 31-year-old, who grew up in BC, scored his first career touchdown in Week 6 against Ottawa.
It is my honor to announce the most outstanding Canadian player this year is Bo Lacombo from BC Lions.
Got a little list here to some people I'd like to thank. I want to start off by thanking everyone here for making it out. The fans, the players, the nominees, everybody who was able to set this award up. This time last year we weren't able to, have this award, so to be a part of this is truly special. I want to thank the BC Lions organization. I want to thank Neil McAvoy. I want to thank Coach Rick for bringing me in this 2021 season. I want to thank Mr. Ahmad Dolman Rick Lillashare, the front office, coaches, players, my teammates. You know, we had a challenging year this year. We had some ups and downs, some lows, some close games we lost. So hopefully next year we're much, much better. I want to thank my mom. Mom, je t'aime. Je t'aime beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, Mom. Je parle français avec ma mère. She'd appreciate that. Thank you, Mom. I want to thank my amazing, beautiful girlfriend, my partner in crime, the mother to my kids, my best friend, my love, Taryn. I appreciate you so much, baby. Thank you. I want to thank my agent, Ray, who's got my back, who does all the work behind the scenes. He's a truly, truly good guy, and I really appreciate you, Ray. Last but not least, like the great Uncle Snoop once said, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. No, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the biggest award of the evening, and it is a huge honor to introduce its presenter. The first is Sarah Ernest from the YMCA. Now, COVID-19 meant that the Y had to find a way to support the most vulnerable women and girls in this community in the face of increased need and falling revenues. And under her leadership, it did just that, and they continue to excel. Now, tonight, Sarah shares our stage with another superstar, a man who may be the most revered player in CFL history. He grew up here. He played at McMaster. He went on to star with the Ottawa Roughriders. He was a Grey Cup MVP, the most outstanding Canadian 4 different times, and the league's most outstanding player 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Y, Sarah Ernest, and Hall of Famer, the one and only Russ Jackson. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Kate. My wife Lois and I live in Burlington, and we really want to commend Randy Ambrosi and the CFL, along with the host Ticats, for what they've done tonight, recognizing all these frontline workers to whom we owe so much. It makes us proud to live in the area and makes us proud to have been part of the great game of Canadian football. Just as I'm sure you're all proud of the players nominated as the most outstanding player for 2021. Let's hear more about them.
William Stanback, Montreal Alouettes. Montreal's William Stanback entered the season with high expectations after emerging as one of the CFL's most electrifying rushers in 2019. The 27-year-old shattered those expectations, becoming the only player in the league to rush for over 1,000 yards, doing so in just 12 games. He could become the first tailback since John Cornish to win the coveted MOP award. Zach Collaros, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Winnipeg's Zach Collaros silenced any doubters in 2021 and is now eyeing his first career MOP award. The 33-year-old finished second in passing yards, and his 20 TD passes were the most in the league and the most in his career. Having thrown only 6 interceptions, he is one of the main reasons the Bombers finished the regular season with an 11-3 record.
And the most outstanding player in the CFL for 2021 is Zach Collaros, Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Wow. To be given this award by Russ Jackson is an honor. I'm not the historian that Mike O'Shea is regarding the CFL, but I know a lot about Russ. It's an amazing thing. So thank you, CFL, for this award. I want to congratulate William Stanback to even be considered for this award with a player of your caliber it's an amazing thing. So thank you. To Osh, Stan, and Biggie, congrats tonight, man. That's awesome. For you guys, it's an honor being your teammates and to be coached by you, Mike. Yeah, I'm terrible at reading off this thing. So, when I was fortunate enough to be given an opportunity to play in this league in 2012, and like Stan, I didn't know a lot about it. Embarrassing story. I was driving back to Toronto after a bye week, and I called my dad and I go, "Dad, what ocean borders Canada?" And it was Lake Ontario. So yeah, that's what we're taught in the public school system in Ohio about Canada. So, yeah, it's just an honor. I first and foremost, want to thank my teammates. Something like this, especially with the group of men that we have, is truly a team award. I've mentioned it to a lot of you guys individually, but being your teammate, I think for me personally has really elevated just my preparation and how I approach the game. It's an honor to be around men like you, specifically our offensive line. The hours we put in together, man, I'll always remember that. I'll always remember it. And again, this is a three-phase award: offense, defense, and special teams. So I love you guys, man. It's a special locker room. It's a special locker room. I want to thank real fast the city of Hamilton, all the volunteers, TSN, the football ops people. We didn't know if we were going to have a season, let alone a Grey Cup. I can't imagine, the hoops and the red tape and all that you had to go through to make this possible. It's been a really special week for all of us. Something we'll always remember, so thank you for that. It's been amazing. Growing up in Ohio, I was obviously an Ohio State fan, although I am a Cincinnati alum. My dad had on in the garage a picture of Woody Hayes, and his mantra was "You win with people," and that's been the story of my life, the story of my career, and of this season especially. I want to start off thanking the organization. It's not lost on me the shot that you took to bring me in 2019 and to keep me around in 2020 and 2021. Wade, for everything that you do for the organization, for me and my family. I can't really put into words, how much you mean to the organization, obviously, but to my family as well. Kyle, for bringing me in, giving me a shot, surrounding all of us with great people. Thank you. Our football ops people, the training staff, Al Couture and your gang, for keeping us upright and, allowing us to play at a high level on the field. Darren and Matt, again, during a pandemic, there's a lot of behind the scene things that you did for me and my family, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Mike O'Shea, everybody in this room knows about Mike O'Shea and what he means to this league, what he means to our organization, what he means to the Hamilton organization, to the Toronto organization, again, just to this league. I met you in 2012, and I just knew there was, I was immediately drawn to you just as a human being and obviously as a coach, and just being around you on a day-to-day basis, your leadership, the wisdom that you embark on us every day. I feel like, at least once a week I'll go home and tell my wife, Nicole, something you said that really stuck out, not just about football, but about life in general. So it's a privilege to play for you, Osh. I love you, man. Our assistant coaches, probably always the most critiqued bunch, in the building, but You know, the hours that you spend watching film and preparing for us to play at a high level, that goes unnoticed by, you know, the normal fan, the casual fan. So specifically Buck Pierce, it's been an honor, you know, being coached by you, not just in the quarterback room, but, you know, with the unit, and you know, following you has been easy, man. So thank you. This is why I wish I would have had the paper out, because I know I'm going to forget somebody. But probably on to family, I would imagine. My mom and dad, my dad was able to make it up. So I just want to thank my parents. I love you guys. The sacrifice that you make, you don't really realize until you are a parent. You know, what goes into that. Always being there for us, the love that you showed us. Dad, I can vividly remember being 5 years old, begging you to not go to work so you can go out and play a game of catch with me, or let's play to two in the backyard of basketball. So I love you. If you think I'm competitive, my mom is psychotic when it comes to competition. So, and I get that and her stubbornness, which has got me in trouble from time to time, but I love you guys. Thank you for the unconditional love. My Uncle Mark made it up from Columbus, Ohio. Him and my Pap, who's not with us tonight, are probably the biggest CFL fans in the United States of America. So, you know, all your support growing up for every single game, every single sport, I love you. My siblings, obviously, my niece Lucy, all the support. I love you guys. It's something I take great pride in, being your older brother. Lastly, actually not lastly, this is again, so that's why I needed that. But I'd be remiss not to mention my in-laws. I married a Toronto girl, I guess Markham girl, an Ontario girl, from playing here for so long. Thank you all, you know, Greg and Jeannie, I know you're here in the building. Melissa, you're here as well. And Alicia is watching, our two beautiful daughters at home. All that you do for our family, and allowing me to, again, spend so much time at the facility and helping out Nicole. I love you guys. And lastly, to my wife, Nicole, you're my angel, baby. I met you when I was playing here. I got hurt like 3 weeks later. We shacked up at the Crown Plaza. They gave me a nice suite there. It was pretty nice. Baba was making me thropita and spanakopita and these Macedonian things I didn't know, because Greek and Macedonian is a little bit different. But I just want to thank you for your selflessness. You've been my biggest fan since I met you. You know, there's been tough times. Tough times in this sport is different than tough times, you know, in real life. But you know, you've always had my back. I don't know what I would do without you. I don't even want to think about that. I love you to death. So I want to thank you again, and for those two beautiful little girls. You know, I wake up every day, you know, knowing what I go to work for, and that's you and Sierra and Capri. I love you, baby. Again, thank you to Hamilton, the organization, for putting this on. We're really looking forward to playing this game. It's again, thank you to the CFL for this award. I can't believe it. Thank you.
I mean, whatever you want. I mean, it's good. An amazing player caps off an amazing evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I have had the best time tonight. I've had the best time hosting the CFL on TSN panel, just like all of you. I have loved this league since my father got me season tickets to a team I won't mention in this room when I was 6 years old. But I love that it's back, and I can't tell you how much I adore it with each and every one of you. Please stick around, grab a drink, I might get 10 at this point, and enjoy the awards after party with DJ Scratch Bestis. Congrats to tonight's nominees and winners, to the City of Hamilton for hosting this event, and the CFL on a great comeback season. Thank you to all of you tonight, the people in the CFL community. My name is Kate Burness, and enjoy the 108th Grey Cup on Sunday.